The year was 2381. Earth had changed a lot since the old days of rockets and satellites. Cities floated in the sky. People lived on the moon and Mars. The world was finally united under one peaceful government, the Global Defense Council. Life was good, and humans believed they had reached the peak of progress. But then, something happened that no one expected. One clear morning, the sky above Earth shimmered strangely. Clouds split apart as a massive spaceship appeared in orbit. It wasn't human. It was sleek, silver, and unlike anything Earth had ever seen. It looked like a giant metal spear hanging in space. Within minutes, every news channel on the planet was reporting the same thing. We are being contacted by an alien civilization. The ship belonged to the Galactic Empire, a powerful union of alien races that had ruled the stars for thousands of years. Earth was just a tiny, unnoticed at the edge of their maps. Till now, the aliens sent a message to Earth. It was polite but cold. It said, "Greetings, people of Earth. You are now under the protection of the Galactic Empire. Sin. The agreement we provide. In return, you will receive safety, technology, and peace. Refusal will not be tolerated." To many, the offer sounded like a threat. Inside the tall buildings of the Global Defense Council in Geneva, world leaders gathered in silence. The council's leader, Director Elena Marlowe, read the message 3 times before she spoke. "This is not a treaty," she said. "This is surrender." But what could Earth do? The alien ship in orbit was huge, and according to their scans, it was just a small diplomatic vessel. If that was small, what would their warships look like? Earth had no fleet to match an empire that spanned galaxies. At least, that's what most people thought. Director Marlowe turned to a quiet man at the back of the room. His name was Commander Elias Grant, and he was the head of a secret project so hidden that only a handful of people in the world knew about it. "Is the Valkyrie ready?" she asked. Commander Grant nodded. "It's ready. We just hoped we'd never have to use it." The room went still. Beneath the deep waters of the Pacific Ocean, something ancient and massive waited. For over 50 years, engineers, scientists, and soldiers had worked in silence to build Earth's greatest secret. They called it Project Revenant. And at the heart of it was the ESS Valkyrie, a ship so large it could carry an entire city. So advanced it could disappear from sensors. So powerful it could fight fleets alone. It was humanity's final card. Back in orbit, the alien ambassadors sent a second message. "You have 48 hours to respond. After that, we will assume cooperation." Hello? Looked at the council members. "We don't need 48 hours, she said. "Send him a reply. Earth will respond in person." Far beneath the ocean, giant metal arms unlocked. A mountain of steel and technology began to rise. The sea foamed and shook as the ESS Valkyrie broke through the waves. From space, satellites caught the image of a flat, triangular shape moving upward, miles wide, glowing with blue lights. Almost silent. People around the world watched in awe and fear. They had never seen anything like it. On board the ship, Commander Helena Riker, a skilled leader with a history in deep space missions, stood on the bridge. "We were told to stay hidden," she said. "But now, they've come knocking. Let's show them we're not helpless." Engines fired. The Valkyrie, silent for decades, lifted off into the sky. The alien ambassadors watched in shock from their orbital ship as the Valkyrie entered space. One of them, a tall creature with silver skin and 4 arms, narrowed his eyes. "This planet was supposed to be primitive," he said. "They built that." "Without our knowledge," the other replied, "for the first time in centuries." The Galactic Empire felt something new, uncertainty. Earth was not just another weak world waiting to be ruled. It had a secret, a weapon, a message, and the galaxy was about to hear it. The S-Valkyrie now floated in orbit above Earth, its dark metal body shining like a quiet mountain among the stars. At over 10 kilometers long, it looked like a floating city, filled with lights, towers, and long flat runways. But it was more than a ship. It was a symbol of something the Galactic Empire had not expected: resistance. Inside the control center of the Valkyrie, Commander Helena Riker stood with her crew. Large glass screens showed the stars outside in the alien ship. "Just a few hundred kilometers away. They're watching us," said Lieutenant Marco Chen, pointing to the screen. "The Empire's ship hasn't moved. They're trying to understand us," Riker said. "Let's not make it easy." Helena Riker had been a space officer for over 20 years. She had fought pirates near Saturn's moons, led rescue missions in deep space, and studied alien signals long before this day came. Now she stood at the center of Earth's greatest ship, ready to face a threat that could destroy her planet. The alien vessel sent a new message. "Your ship is not registered. You are in violation of Galactic Code 7.2. Power it down and await further orders." Riker smiled slightly. They're scared, but pretending to be calm. She turned to her crew. "Run a full test of our systems. We'll show them we're not just another species to boss around." The Valkyrie came alive. Deep inside the ship, powerful engines hummed quietly. Shield generators powered up, creating invisible protection around the hull. Weapon systems rotated into position railgens, energy cannons, and defense drones ready to move in every direction. Dozens of stealth drones launched silently and disappeared from sight. The ship's AI, named Athena, spoke in a clear voice. "All systems operational, stealth field ready, jump drive calibrated. We are battle ready, Commander." Riker nodded. "Good. Begin stealth test." Suddenly, on the screens of the galactic ship, the Valkyrie vanished. 1 second it was there, and the next, it was gone. The alien ambassadors stared at their monitors in confusion. "Did they jump?" one asked. "No, still here." The ship's captain replied, "We just can't see it." Earth's technology, grown in secret for decades, had reached a level the Empire didn't expect. Using a mix of alien tech recovered from old crash sites and human creativity, Earth had created something new: a ghost ship, impossible to track. Inside Valkyrie, Riker watched as the alien vessel sent out probe signals and scans, trying to locate them. "Let them look," she said calmly. "They won't find us." Back on Earth, Director Elena Marlowe watched from the Global Defense Council's command room. She stood before a huge screen showing live data from Valkyrie. "They're holding back," said General Okoye, "but they won't wait forever." "We're not looking for war," Marlowe replied, "but we must be ready." She opened a secure channel to Valkyrie. "Commander Riker, the Council is watching. Show them we're ready to defend ourselves, but do not fire unless fired upon." "Understood," Riker replied. "We're running tests now. No aggression only. Demonstration." Meanwhile, across the galaxy, news of Earth's ship was spreading fast. The Empire's outer colonies began asking questions. How did a small planet build a ship that can vanish? Why was Earth not on the threat list? Is the Empire losing control? For the first time in years, people were talking about Earth with curiosity, not as a backward world, but as a surprise. In the secret chambers of the Empire's High, Council leaders met in silence. One elder, a long-necked creature with glowing eyes, finally spoke. "If they built that ship in silence, what else are they hiding?" Another added, "If one planet resists, others may follow." Back aboard the Valkyrie, the crew completed their systems tests. "Stealth, no weapons. Shields all green," reported Lieutenant Chen. Commander Riker looked at the alien ship still waiting in orbit. "They gave us 48 hours. She said, let's answer them early." She sent a message to the alien vessel. "This is Commander Helena Riker of the Earthship Valkyrie. Earth does not accept force protection. We stand as equals. We're not your subjects. This is not aggression, it is independence." For several minutes, there was no reply. Then finally, the alien ship turned slightly. Engines began to power up. "They're leaving," someone whispered. Riker didn't smile. "They're going to call for backup." She turned to her crew. "Stay sharp." 3 days had passed since Earth's Supercarrier, the ESS Valkyrie, revealed itself to the galaxy. The alien ship that brought the Empire's message had left without firing a single shot. But it didn't go far. It sent a signal. A message, asking for help. A warning. And now, Earth's leaders knew that real danger was coming, far beyond Mars. Near the dark, cold orbit of Neptune, Space sensors picked up movement. A small fleet of ships was approaching, 6 in total. They flew under the banner of the Galactic Empire, inside Valkyrie's command center. Commander Helena Riker stood before a large screen showing the fleet's path. Admiral Threxy said, reading the identification code. Vorthani species. He's not here to talk. The Vorthani were tall, lizard-like creatures, known for their pride and discipline. Threx had fought in over 100 battles across the galaxy. Now he had come to put Earth in its place. They'll reach Neptune's orbit in 2 hours, said Lieutenant Marco Chen. Still no message from them. They don't want to talk, Riker said. They want to show power. Gosh. Should we power up weapons? Asked another officer. Riker paused. Not yet. Move Valkyrie into Neptune's shadow. Let's see if they can find us. The Valkyrie silently glided across space, using its stealth field to vanish from all sensors. It hid behind the large, dark body of Neptune, just out of the fleet's sight. Meanwhile, aboard the Empire's lead cruiser, Admiral Threx stood with his hands behind his back. Are Earth's people truly this bold? He asked. They build a giant ship, and now they hide? A younger officer looked nervous. We are still scanning, Admiral. No signs of the human ship. But they think they are clever, Threx said. We'll show them what real strength is. The fleet began to spread out, sending small scout drones in different directions. They still didn't know the Valkyrie was watching them the whole time. Inside Valkyrie's war room, holograms of the enemy ships glowed in the air. They have 2 destroyers, 3 frigates, and 1 command ship, said Chen. Power levels high, shields up. Riker studied the holograms. They're strong, she said, but they don't expect to fight. They think we'll beg for peace. She turned to her crew. Let's change the plan. We strike first. A quiet shock passed through the room. But Commander, the Council told us to avoid conflict, one officer said. They told us to avoid starting it, Riker replied. But Threx is here to intimidate, not negotiate. If we wait too long, Earth will look weak. We show them now we can fight and we can win. At Riker's command, Valkyrie launched a wave of stealth drones. Each drone was small, fast, and nearly invisible. They slipped through space, flying quietly between the enemy ships. Then Riker gave the order, fire. In the silence of space, light flashed. One of the enemy frigates exploded as a drone. Attached to its hull, released a high-powered pulse. Another frigate lost its engines and began spinning slowly. Railguns on Valkyrie fired solid metal slugs at extreme speed, cutting through the shields of a third ship like paper. Admiral Threx shouted as alarms blared across his ship. Where are they? It's attacking. His officers panicked. Unknown. Source, Admiral. Frigates 2 and 3 are down. We can't locate the enemy. Valkyrie then revealed itself, dropping its stealth field just above Neptune's rings. Its large form cast a shadow over the Empire's command ship. Now, Riker said, let them see us. Valkyrie opened its coms. This is Earth Command. Your attack fleet has been disabled. We will not allow threats over our planet. Turn back now. Admiral Threx stared at the screen, stunned. Never in his long career had another fleet attacked first and won. He clenched his jaw. Pull back the remaining ships. We report this to the Council. But Admiral, I said, pull back. The Empire's ships turned, limping away from the battlefield, leaving behind damaged wreckage and silence. Back on Earth, Director? Alina Marlowe received the battle report. She watched the video footage of Valkyrie rising from Neptune's shadow, glowing like a giant star. They really did it, she whispered. They stood toe-to-toe with the Empire and won. News of the battle spread fast across the stars. On faraway planets, people began whispering Earth's name with new respect. Some were afraid. Some were impressed. Others, especially those under the Empire's strict rule, began to hope. The battle near Neptune had shaken the Galactic Empire more than anyone expected. A small planet, once considered weak and unknown, had defeated a war fleet and without losing a single ship. Earth had shown something the Empire hadn't seen. In centuries' courage, in a quiet star system far from Earth, on a desert moon called Velrose, the news spread like wildfire. This moon belonged to the Empire, but the people there had grown tired of its rule. The news of Earth's victory traveled through secret channels, whispered in bars, markets, and dusty shipyards. They destroyed 3 ships without being seen. 1 ship did that, just one. They stood against Threx and won. For years, smaller planets had dreamed of freedom, but fear held them back. Now they saw a new possibility. Earth had cracked the wall. Back in orbit near Earth, the ESS Valkyrie remained still but alert. Commander Helena Riker stood on the bridge, reviewing fleet movements and listening to new reports from Earth's deep space sensors. "We're getting strange signals," said Lieutenant Marco Chen. "Multiple broadcasts coming from border systems." "It's not Empire language, it's code." Riker narrowed her eyes. "Play one." The message played through the ship speakers. It was rough and full of static, but the words were clear. To the humans of Earth: "We saw what you did. We are not your enemies. If you speak, we will listen." The bridge fell silent. "They're reaching out to us," said Chen. "These are independent systems under Empire rule. But they want to talk." Riker turned to her communication officer. "Send a reply. Tell them we hear them." Meanwhile, in the Empire's capital world, the High Council gathered in a grand hall of glass and gold. Leaders from dozens of species sat in silence, watching a large projection of the Valkyrie. The ship's glowing image floated above their heads. "This cannot continue," said Counselor Raz, a long-faced alien with crystal blue skin. "Earth was to be added peacefully. Instead, they've humiliated us." Counselor Varn, a wise elder with silver horns, spoke softly. "They did not attack first. We pushed them. Maybe we should listen." A murmur moved through the room. "Listen to a young species. They are not as young as we thought. They built that ship in secret. What else have they built?" Counselor Raz stood again. "They connect with rebel worlds. They will become a threat greater than we've ever seen. We must act now, destroy the Valkyrie, crush Earth before others rise." Back aboard Valkyrie, Riker received a warning from Athena. The ship's AI commander, long-range scans detect movement in Empire territory. Large, possibly a fleet. "How many?" Riker asked. "At least 30 warships. Heading toward Earth." The room went quiet. Riker took a deep breath. This isn't just about Earth anymore. They're coming to make an example of us. She opened a channel to Earth's Global Defense Council. "Alina, we need a decision. Do we fight here, or take the battle away from Earth?" Director Marlowe replied without hesitation. "Protect Earth at all costs. But if there's a way to lead the fleet away, take it. The world is watching you." Riker ended the call and turned to her crew. "Plot a course. We move to intercept the fleet before it reaches home." "Alone?" Chen asked. Riker smiled slightly. "Not exactly." She tapped the control panel and brought up a secret list. Dozens of codes and locations appeared. Calcines of Earth's hidden allies. Activate Project Horizon. Round the solar system, long-hidden bases came to life. Old warships powered up. Silent stations revealed themselves. And most importantly, Earth's allies rose from the shadows. Small planets, neutral traders, and even former Empire engineers who had secretly joined Earth's cause answered the call. In a matter of hours, a new fleet formed, a patchwork of ships, but ready to stand together. When the Valkyrie reached the edge of the solar system, Earth's new fleet followed behind. It was not as large as the Empire's force, but it had heart, unity, and purpose. Riker stood at the front of the bridge, looking at the stars ahead. "They're coming with 30 ships," Chen said, "and we'll meet them with 30 reasons." "To stop," Riker replied. Athena spoke once more. "Commander, incoming message. Not from Earth. From Velrose." Riker looked up, put it through. A tired, hopeful voice spoke. "Commander Riker, says Captain Laro of Velrose. We've taken our port back from Empire control. We have 6 ships. We fight with you." Crew cheered. Riker's eyes lit up. "For the first time," she said, "we are not alone." Above the quiet stars, 2 fleets began to move toward each other. The Empire's power, and Earth's rising hope. The stars above the edge of the solar system were no longer silent. Two fleets faced each other in open space on one side. The mighty warships of the Galactic Empire, over 30 in number, led by High Admiral Calveros. On the other side stood the S-Valkyrie with Earth's new allies, rebel ships from Velros, Earthros from the Outer Belt, Old Earth warships, and even peaceful scientists now flying defense cruisers. Their numbers were smaller, but their spirits were high, inside the Valkyrie's command center. Commander Helena Riker stood tall, her hands behind her back, her gaze steady. "This is the line," she said. "We hold here, not just for Earth but for every world that wants to be free." The bridge crew watched their screens. The Empire's ships formed a wide wall, moving slowly but with confidence. "They still think we're weak," said Lieutenant Chun. "Good," Riker replied. "Let them think so, until it's too late." On the Empire's command ship, Admiral Veros gave his orders calmly. He was a tall, armored being from the ice world Varnok. He had crushed rebellions for 30 years and believed this battle would be no different. "Begin approach. Target Valkyrie first. Crush the head, and the body will fall." "Yes, Admiral." The Empire's fleet moved forward. Inside Valkyrie, the AI Athena spoke. Multiple lock-ons detected. "Incoming fire in 20 seconds. Riker raised her hand. "Shields up. Launch drones. Begin counter-movement." Dozens of small stealth drones launched from the Valkyrie's side. They split into swarms, circling the enemy ships like shadows. Then came the first wave. Red energy beams cut through space. Missiles and plasma bolts lit up the darkness. Valkyrie shook slightly, but her shields held strong. Earth's allies returned. Fire, with all they had. A Velros fighter squadron flew straight through a destroyer's shield gap, striking its engines. An old Earth ship, the EHS Liberty, crashed into an Empire carrier in a suicide run, disabling it completely. Commander Riker moved quickly between her officers, pushed the left flank, target their support ships. Keep the Valkyrie mobile. Don't let them pin us down. For hours, the battle raged. Explosions lit up the stars like fireworks. Debris floated between wrecks. Ships from both sides were lost. But Valkyrie stood firm, her railguns cutting through cruisers like thunderbolts. On the enemy command ship, Admiral Veros narrowed his eyes. "They're more organized than we thought." One of his officers spoke in panic. "We've lost 10 ships. Their coordination is too good. They're not fighting like a new force. They're fighting like veterans." Veros clenched his fist. "Then we show them what fear looks like." He pressed a command. From deep behind the Empire's fleet, a massive warship uncloaked the Dreadnought Sovereign, one of the largest ships ever built. Even Valkyrie seemed small beside it. Inside Valkyrie, alarms began to ring. "A massive ship just appeared," Athena reported. "Its power is 5 times greater than ours." The crew went quiet. Riker stood still. "It's here to end this in one strike." She turned to her crew. "Can't win this with firepower, but maybe. We don't have to." Riker activated a secret protocol code Ember. Deep inside Valkyrie, the ship's core systems began to change. Energy levels shifted. A strange humming sound filled the air. "What's she doing?" Chen asked. "We're not going to defeat that ship with guns," Riker said. "We'll use its own strength against it." Athena explained the plan. "If we overload their energy core using a focused resonance pulse, it may trigger a shutdown. But we must get close, very close." Riker gave the order. "All ships, clear a path. Valkyrie is going in." As Allied ships moved aside, Valkyrie charged forward, flying straight toward the Dreadnought Sovereign. The enemy ship began firing everything it had. Lasers, missiles, and beams filled space. But Valkyrie danced between them, her shields glowing brightly. When the two ships were only a few kilometers apart, Riker gave the command. "Fire the resonance pulse now." Silent wave of blue light shot from Valkyrie and hit the Dreadnought's core. At first nothing happened. Then the giant ship flickered, its lights dimmed, its weapons stopped, and then silence. The Dreadnought Sovereign powered down completely. Cheers erupted across Valkyrie's bridge. Allied ships shouted in victory over open coms. They did it. 1. The dreadnought is down. On the Empire's side, the remaining ships froze. Without their flagship, they lost their command signal. Admiral Veros gave the order, retreat. And just like that, the Empire's fleet turned and fled. Into deep space, back on Earth, people watched the live feed in city streets, homes, and schools. Cheers rose around the world. Humanity had not only defended its planet, it had become a leader among the stars. Riker sent a message to the galaxy. We did not ask for war. We will not be ruled. To all who seek peace and freedom, are not alone. Earth stands with you. In the weeks that followed, more worlds joined Earth's alliance. A new group formed the United Free Systems, and Earth was one of its founding leaders. The Valkyrie returned home, not just as a ship, but as a symbol of hope. And above the blue planet, the stars shone a little brighter than before.